My name is Talon Cavender-Wilson. I come from the Upper Sioux community. I'm working on the Dakota CAIR project as one of their trial artist residents. As part of this Dakota CAIR project, the major focus is on what's happening in the community around Corona times. And so I started really looking into the effects of Corona, especially in Indigenous communities and minority groups generally. I was finding statistics saying that essentially people of color are 4 to 5 times more likely to get Corona and have a higher chance of it being more severe due to medical care and access to treatment. My heart and my mind has been quite heavily on social justice issues through these times. And so for my project, I was listening to a couple interviews. I was actually listening to a lot of interviews with street level activists during the protests here in Minneapolis. And one of the things that really resonated with me is a quote by one activist, and it was something along the lines of, "If you do not hear us when we whisper, you will hear us when we shout." When trying to reflect over this project and kind of move forward, that quote never really left my mind. And so at first I was trying to come up with very literal representations of that and how it would affect Corona. But then I started trying to think more abstract, and I started thinking about sound itself and the resonance of sound. One of the things I learned how to make over in Sweden was large metal bowls. Some people use metal bowls as resonators for meditation and stuff like that, so you can use the sound that these bowls create. However, the thing about that is if the bowl is relatively perfect, it doesn't have to be perfectly round or anything like that, but if it doesn't have any imperfections like cracks or fissures or anything like that, then it will create this beautiful sound. However, if you introduce cracks or imperfections, the sound will get distorted, it will get warped, it will get impure. And so one of the things I thought about quite a lot is this idea of people being held back, and this idea that people don't want to listen when it's just a whisper. Of course, when we talk and nothing is hindered, when we talk about happy and joyous things that are completely unhindered, it makes this beautiful sound and everybody wants to listen to it. Of course, everyone wants to listen to it. However, as soon as people start bringing up these issues that are holding people back, all of a sudden, you don't want to listen anymore. It's not pleasant to listen to. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to listen to it. That doesn't make it any less important. And then moving further with that, I introduced another aspect as well. The one thing I didn't make, I put marbles in the last bowl. I filled it with marbles. Now, these marbles, in my mind, kind of represent Corona. Now, what happens when you take marbles and you put them in a metal bowl like this, and then you strike it as if to get a sound, it will mute that sound. It makes a little rattling noise, but not much beyond that. All right, I'm gonna hit it with a hammer, and marbles are gonna go flying everywhere. Are you prepared for that? Art. And now I have a mess to clean up. The thought being there that at first, even if there are really strong underlying structural issues, that for a while Corona is going to take the front seat. It's going to silence those issues for a while until something happens. All of a sudden those issues are going to be amplified, and eventually it's going to go from a light tap on the bowl, which is going to create a small sound, to someone's going to pick up a hammer and smash the bowl. And then we have a mess that we have to clean up.